You have to brace for the cold as you're stepping out the door this morning. This is a view of those wind chills starting off to the teens, even 20s for much of the area. And we're going to be seeing the colder air sticking around for the weekend. Latest details on those numbers next.
And coming up this morning, a deadly explosion. A body is pulled from the rubble of the Gaithersburg condo explosion. What investigators say the blast, they're saying, might not have been an accident.
Plus, the future of the Metro, how a new design could potentially stop people from stealing rides.
And Twitter turmoil. Things go from bad to worse as hundreds of employees head for the exit. What it could mean for one of the biggest social media platforms in the entire world.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
All right, it's 6 o'clock on this Friday morning. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. I'm Corey James.
Good morning. I'm Tanaya Wright. We do want to get right to meteorologist Jackie Layer with a check on our Friday forecast. And Jackie, it is frigid out there.
Yes, brace for the cold before you step out the door. Oh, yes, on this frigid Friday morning. And we're seeing those temperatures starting off 20s to low 30s. We're right into the lower 30s right now in the district. But elsewhere, some of us starting off into the low 20s. That's not even factoring in the wind chill right now. So let's talk about those temperatures across the region again. Low to mid 20s down towards Culpeper and Fredericksburg. 30s off towards the north. 24 though over towards Waldorf. 23 Manassas. We do have a sea of breeze mainly out of south-southwest 5 to 10 miles per hour, but that's still enough to make it feel much colder than those actual air temperatures. I want to focus on Culpeper and Fredericksburg. Culpeper feeling like it's 11, 12 degrees what it feels like in Fredericksburg. 20 is what it feels like in the district. 16 in Manassas. So a few locations starting off feeling like we're into the teens right now. Cold front though is just up towards our north and west. So yes, that will swing through later on this afternoon. Could be producing a few more extra clouds for us later on today. By about 11 a.m. we should see those temperatures climbing low 40s, mid to upper 40s later on this afternoon. But again, we'll see the wind that'll make it feel a little bit colder. But high temperatures today across the region, 40s, and we're looking at low 40s tomorrow, upper 30s for high temperatures Sunday. That's not even factoring in wind chill as well. So I'll have more details with that 7-day coming up. But Shanika has the latest on traffic. How's it looking?
Oh, what a mess out there on the Interloop. We're staying in College Park, Prince George's County. It's not looking good, so you're seeing delays, and delays are building very quickly. We have a crash past this point to your right. That's why you're seeing traffic pretty much stopped. It's like a parking lot. So now you're seeing traffic all the way back to almost the ICC. Not quite, though, so maybe near 212. So just do be careful in that area. Again, earlier you saw some delays past 95. So over to Dale City. This is one crash we're dealing with off of Dale Boulevard and Minnieville Road. Can't see if it's very congested. I do know that's a small road, so do be careful over there, guys.
All right, Shanika, thank you. We're following some breaking news this morning. One person is dead after a car crashed into the Potomac.
That crash happened on the George Washington Memorial Parkway. U.S. Park Police say 2 people were inside that car when it crashed. Police say 1 person died at the scene. The other person was taken to the hospital, and we're told that person is expected to be okay. The cause of that crash remains under investigation this morning.
And this morning, we now know 1 person is dead after that powerful apartment building explosion in Gaithersburg. Crews discovered the body yesterday as they continued to sift through the rubble and the debris. DC News Now's Christy Matino is back at the partially collapsed building this morning. And Christy, officials, they are working to identify the person who was found inside.
Yeah, Corey, absolutely. That's one of the main priorities here today. Hopefully being able to find out just who this person is. Another top priority, sifting through this rubble to see if there's any more victims. And I'm going to step out of the way here so you can just see how long that process is going to take. If you can see that building all the way back there, that is a lot of debris that is going to take multiple days to have to sift through here. Now, yesterday, a canine alerted the crew near the rubble on top of building 826. That's when they found the body, which was then sent to the medical examiner's office in Baltimore. So they hope to have that identity by today, but we still don't know if that person lived here, if they were just visiting, or potentially if they worked at the complex. But police and fire rescue crews still have their hands really full today. They're saying there's a lot more of the grounds here to search, but when it comes to that body, officials are now shifting their focus on the investigation. Take a listen.
There's incredibly a lot more evidence that we are searching for, but we have some information again that will at least lend us to the belief that we need to look at this preliminarily as a criminal act.
Yeah, that was Police Chief Marcus Jones last night. They say that they are now looking at this as potentially an intentional act. So when we could get more information, that'll happen a bit later today. It could be mid-afternoon to late afternoon, but we will have crews here ready, standing by to get that latest information for you guys.
All right, thank you, Christy. Developing now, a suspect is behind bars this morning after a woman and little girl were shot and killed in a Washington County hotel.
And according to police, 40-year-old Elise Wars and her 4-year-old daughter, Corey Ashton, were living at the APM Inn and Suites in Hagerstown. Both were found dead Wednesday afternoon. Now, the suspect in custody, 22-year-old Javon Hines, he has been identified as an acquaintance of the victim. A neighbor tells DC News Now the woman and her little girl kept to themselves.
It's sad, you know, because the little girl and the mother lost their life, you know, in there. Sweet little girl. Sweet mother, quiet to themselves.
So far, no word on a motive.
And turning now to Virginia this morning, where we continue to follow that shooting in Prince William County that left 2 people dead. Yesterday, police arrested Desmond Daniel in the parking lot of Dulles International Airport. Police say the 24-year-old does have a past with one of those victims. DC News Now's Max Marcella has what's next for that suspect.
This is Desmond Malcolm Daniel, the man police say broke into this Dumfries home on Wednesday night and shot 22-year-old Alyssa Gainey and 24-year-old Javon Williams. Gainey died in the basement of the home. Williams died a short time later at the hospital. Daniel is also accused of shooting a dog whose injuries were so bad it had to be put down.
We're trying to go back now and create a timeline of kind of what happened and what kind of led up to this.
Investigators believe Daniel was previously in a relationship with Gainey.
Sometimes these relationships can be very, passionate, and that they can lead to some behavior. Unfortunately, in this instance, it escalated rather significantly.
Police say after Daniel shot the 2 people and the dog, he drove off, sparking a manhunt across northern Virginia, even involving state police. Less than 3 hours after the shooting, Daniel was tracked to a parking lot here at Dulles International Airport. They arrested him inside his car.
We don't know why he was there. We were able to kind of track him through the use of his phone.
Reporting for DC News Now, I'm Max Marcella.
And Daniel is behind bars this morning without bond. He is facing 5 charges, including second-degree murder. If convicted, he could face life in prison. He is due back in court in January.
An update for you this morning. Virginia's Attorney General is launching an independent review into the deadly shooting at UVA. This move comes as we get a clear picture of what happened leading up to that night. Now, investigators say the group ate dinner together in the district before seeing a play at the Atlas Performing Arts Center on 8th Street. Hours later, the charter bus arrived at campus, and then the students began getting off. That is when investigators say Christopher Jones Jr. began firing, killing 3 football players and injuring 2 more. The university will host a public memorial service tomorrow afternoon to honor the victims and provide counseling to all students. Your time right now is 6:07 this morning. The Prince George's County Sheriff's Office is grieving after their sheriff unexpectedly passed away.
Sheriff Melvin High died yesterday after more than 2 decades of service in law enforcement. The newly elected sheriff, John Carr, will be sworn in sometime next month. Until then, Sheriff High's chief assistant, Colonel Darren Palmer, will serve in his place. At a news conference last night, Palmer got emotional while honoring his fellow officer.
He deeply loved this agency and worked tirelessly to grow and improve it. And he sought every day to make Prince George's County a better place. Sheriff Melvin C. High was an exceptional human being who gave everything he had in service to others. He is loved, and he will be deeply missed by everyone.
The family is asking the public to respect their privacy at this time.
And developing now, a 4-year investigation leading to some disturbing new allegations against a Baltimore Catholic church. The Office of Maryland's Attorney General found clergy at the Baltimore Archdiocese abused at least 600 children, this dating back to the 1940s. Now, investigators say they reviewed hundreds of thousands of documents, including evidence that victims of Baltimore's priests range from preschool to 18 years old. A 450-page report about the findings is expected to be released soon. And House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced she will not seek another leadership role in the new Congress.
That is right. Pelosi made that decision after Democrats lost control of the House in the midterms and the attack on her husband at their home in San Francisco. Now, this will end Pelosi's historic run as House Speaker, as she became the first woman in U.S. history to hold that position. President Biden congratulated her, saying that she is the most influential speaker in this country's history. Pelosi did say she will remain in Congress as representative of her California district, but will not endorse any replacement. She said it is time for a new generation of Democratic leadership to take the reins.
A new day is dawning on the horizon, and I look forward, always forward, to the unfolding story of our nation, a story of light and love, of patriotism and progress, of many becoming one, and always an unfinished mission to make the dreams of today the reality of tomorrow.
Pelosi said she had been planning on leaving for a while, saying that there is life out there for her after she gives up her leadership position. Happening right now, Twitter is at risk of spiraling into complete dysfunction, and users are starting to realize it. The hashtag RIP Twitter became the #1 trending post on the social media platform overnight. Now, this all comes after hundreds of essential Twitter employees called it quits after Elon Musk demanded high-intensity hours in total loyalty to his rebranding of the app. On Thursday, 7 Senate Democrats sent a letter to the Federal Trade Commission requesting an investigation into Musk and Twitter for potential violations of consumer protection laws.